Welcome back to another episode of Flagrant Foul Fridays. I'm your host, Nick, and with me today, as usual, is my co host, Christian.
Yes, as usual, I am here.
Welcome back to episode 14, Christian.
Well, welcome back to you as well. I expected to see you here, actually.
Oh, really? That's quite interesting. So, we got something that we talked about a little bit last week. We decided to make it a segment, so you'll hear later a little about Ball and Order.
Our crime segment.
That is our crime segment. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about it.
Their brand new crime segment.
We'll also be talking about some updates in the Olympics for medals and standings in the medal race. And our special for today is a 20 questions athlete edition.
I've heard that there's multiple ways to play 20 questions. The way we're going to play is we each ask 20 questions and then we get a final guess. So if you want to call it 21, that's fine. But yeah, that's how we're going to play it. The only rule was that whoever each of us picks, it just has to be an athlete. It could be a retired athlete, they could be dead, they could be alive, they could be current, female, doesn't matter. So, do you want to go first and I'll ask questions?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna keep track of how many I've asked. Um, does your athlete still currently play like professionally?
No.
Okay, that was a very good question, I think, to get out of the way. All right. Is your athlete like known as like one of the greatest of all time?
Yes.
Did your athlete play before 1985?
No.
With how long that took you to answer, I'm guessing it's kind of borderline. So I'm thinking 90s to early 2000s. Are they a basketball player?
No.
Do they play football?
Yes.
Okay. Did they play for the offense?
Yes. Is that number 6?
Yeah, that's number 6. Were they any sort of lineman, including tight end?
Ooh.
I want to really narrow it down.
Early on in his career before he was like in the professional league, but not in the pros.
Okay. So in the pros, he was probably receiver, running back, quarterback. I feel like quarterback's too obvious. I need to narrow it down, but I don't want to use guesses for each position. Uh, were they a wide receiver?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So a legendary wide receiver from probably the 90s to early 2000s, possibly on the bigger side. I need to look up AFC and NFC teams real quick. Did they play for the NFC?
Yes, he played for the NFC.
Okay. Um, is he known for playing on like one particular team or did he jump around a lot?
He was known for one specific team.
Is that team's current logo, because I don't really care about the past, have blue?
Like the one that he's most known for?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That helps narrow it down a bit. Um, did he win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl.
Okay, well that narrows it down. It can't be the Cardinals. Is the team he played on or is known for known as like a really good team in the last 10 years?
Yes.
Did the team he played on were they within Wisconsin and or Minnesota?
No.
Okay. I think I'm on to you. Is their uniforms have black as like a decent amount of color on the uniform?
Or current or when he played?
Current.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of lost, not gonna lie. I think I'm on 15. I might have lost
Yeah.
count. Okay. Um, okay, I don't think it's the Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings, Falcons, Dolphins, Jaguars, Panthers, or Rams, or Eagles.
Well, half of the teams you named are in the AFC, and you asked if he was in the NFC.
What?
You asked if he was in the NFC, and I said, yeah, and you named the Jaguars.
The picture I'm looking at has the Jaguars in the NFC.
They're the AFC.
Oh. I just found, okay, I don't know what that was from.
What were the other teams you named?
Oh, this was a picture from some Japanese article. No wonder it's wrong. Are you kidding me? Wait, but when I scroll down, they have it correct. So that's weird. Oh gosh. All right. I guess that makes sense why I wasn't seeing the Seahawks. That's okay though, because I did ask if they were blue, and now that the Cowboys and Giants are in this list, that helps narrow it down even more. Okay, so is it a red team?
Yes.
That makes way more sense. I feel like it has to be who I think it is, but I'm kind of worried. Like, there's no way you would pick someone that obvious. Did he play with Joe Montana?
Yes.
Is it Jerry Rice?
Yeah. The reason why I didn't know, he started playing in 1985, so technically he didn't play before
Oh,
1985.
that's crazy.
That's why I had to look it up because I couldn't remember when he started playing.
I'm gonna send you a picture of the image I was looking at, so you can know my pain.
What the heck? They also got the Broncos, the Chiefs, the
Yeah, but
Dolphins.
that same article, you scroll down and they have it correct. So I don't know what this is. But yeah, I literally would have never got for the Niners because it wasn't even on the list. Even though I knew they were in the NFC because we've been talking about it all year. All right. Well, I'm ready for you when you are. I'm surprised you picked someone so famous like that.
They had me worried about yours.
I I'm not gonna say anything, but you do know him.
All right. First question. Is he in the NFL?
No.
Like retired or current?
No.
That's what I meant. Did they play in the NBA?
Yes.
Are they currently in the NBA?
No.
Did they play in the 90s?
No.
Oh, so you went with an old player.
Well, there's people born in like 2000 that are in the NBA that didn't play in the 90s. I'm just saying,
That's
like that
true.
doesn't make them old.
Have they played in this century?
I need to look. Wait, no, I don't need to look. Yes,
I,
they've played since 2000.
I was gonna say, how do you need to look when it's in, when it's obviously
Well,
not
that
the 90s?
well, that would have meant that they've played in like the 60s or something.
So they played in the 2000s, and it can't be Kobe, it can't be Shaq, it can't be. It could be Andre Iguodala. All right, I'll keep asking. Did they quit playing basketball in the 2010s?
Um, yes, but that's 10 years. That's kind of a lot.
Are they well known for one team?
Um, I would say most people would picture him with a specific jersey, but he has played for other teams. So I would say, yeah, he's pretty much known for one team.
Hmm.
But then again, it might depend if you're a fan of some of the other teams he played for.
Did he play in the Eastern Conference, like his main team?
His main team? Okay, well this is tough because I don't know how to define his main team.
The team you imagine he would be most known
But the
for.
team I think he's most known for is when he played the worst, if I'm looking at his stats. It seems like he had a very good start to his career, and he stuck with the team that drafted him for a decent amount of years. So I don't know if that would be considered the team he's known for.
This is really throwing me off.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to clarify. Do you want to interpret main team as where he had the most success with that team, such as playoff runs and stuff? Or do you want to
Yeah,
interpret
let's
it
go
as
with
like
that.
best years of his career?
Let's go with best years of his career, like when he was at the top of his game.
Like stats?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, are we talking currently in the East?
Yeah.
Because I would have to look up if they switched. They are not currently in the East.
Which makes me wonder, is that 7 or 8?
I think you're on 8.
Makes me wonder, is it the Thunder slash Supersonics?
No.
Interesting. Trying to think of NBA teams that would have possibly played in a different conference or relocated or something.
I think you're on the wrong track there. I just had to look it up because I wasn't sure. Because you know how the NBA is with some teams that are like in the West that are play for the East and East that play for the West and stuff. So I just had to make sure.
Me looking at this list and seeing the Rockets and thinking maybe Yao Ming was your choice.
But I'll tell you, the team that he had the best like averages for when he was young, I don't think you would even know that he played for these teams. I think you would only know this player for like 2 years of his entire career.
Okay, so was he in the East for those 2 years?
No.
Okay, so he's still in the West. And he retired in the 2010s and he started in the 2000s. This is hard. I don't even know what question to ask.
You haven't really narrowed down like what type of player he is or anything
Oh,
like
I
that.
guess I could. Is he a guard?
No.
So he's a bigger guy. Is he a forward?
Yes.
Okay, so he isn't a center. Part of me questions Gordon Hayward, but he also played for the Celtics and
I
got
feel like
injured.
I feel like there's one question that would really help you narrow it down. Type of
I'm
questions
trying
that can only apply to specific people.
I'm trying to narrow down players that went to multiple teams in the West from the 2010s.
I'm telling you, I really don't think you would know his trade history.
Um, the team I would best know him from was that in the shoot, I don't even know NFL or NBA divisions. Is he in? Did he play in the Pacific Division, which is the Lakers, Kings, Clippers, Warriors, or Suns?
Yes.
That really narrows that down. Now I'm down to 5 teams.
Yeah, that helps.
When did Nick Young play? When did he quit? Swaggy P. When did he quit? I don't want to guess Nick Young because I don't have any information.
You're
But
probably right. I
he's a
bet
forward. He's been to a bunch of teams. He's
Nick
played
Young
on the Lakers.
probably applies to all the questions you've asked so far. Coincidentally. Or not. I don't know.
Did he play for the Lakers at any point in time?
Nope.
Okay.
You're on 14.
I'm 14 and I haven't gotten anywhere. Did he play for the Warriors?
Yes.
I have a feeling I was right all along about Andre Iguodala at the beginning, but I don't know when he quit. When did Andre Iguodala retire? 2023, so it isn't him.
There's literally one question that would help you narrow down like half the roster.
I'm trying to think of questions. Um, did he happen to play for another team in the West besides the Warriors?
Well, didn't we already establish that?
Oh, we might have. Never mind. Cancel that question. Did he play for the Grizzlies?
No. Why are you asking? Just worry about the Warriors.
Okay, I'll worry about the Warriors.
I'm telling you, if you know this player, you know it because of the Warriors. All you need to do now is figure out what his role was within that team and win.
He was a forward, and I remember Harrison Barnes. I remember Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant, Festus Ezeli, Anderson Varejao. I think he's more of a center though. Draymond Green, but he currently plays.
If it helps you, I currently have all of his stats for games played, games started, minutes, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw, rebounds, assists, all that stuff. Points per game.
Did he play past the 2017 season?
Yeah.
Gosh dang it, I hope that helped me.
Wait, 2017-18 or
Yeah,
2016-17?
2017-18.
So you're asking did he play in 2018-19 or above?
Yeah.
He did not. So that implies you know when he retired. You got three more and then you get a guess.
Um, well, I'm really stumped right now. I already guessed Harrison Barnes, but I think he played into the 2020s. There was a Matt Barnes, but I don't remember him too fondly. I don't even know what else. I guess what's the highest points per game he ever averaged in a season?
Oh my gosh, Nick. These questions are not helpful.
What's his highest points per game on the Warriors in his finals? Or I guess what's
There
his
we
points per
go.
game on the Warriors or whatever?
That is the like a kind of question that I've been looking for. He played for them multiple years. Do you want the average between all of them?
Let's go with his last year.
His last year, 6.8 points.
So he was more of like a role player.
Yes, this is exactly the type of question you've been needing to ask for a long time.
I'm gonna get it out of the way because I already mentioned his name. Is it Matt Barnes?
No.
Oh gosh, dang it!
All
I
right,
thought I had it.
you have one more question and then I guess.
This final season, he scored 6 points a game.
And you know what season that was, if you were paying attention.
Yeah, I was.
So you know that he won a championship.
Yeah, he won with the Warriors that
So
year.
you just have to think about the 2K roster.
2K roster from 2016, or would it be the 2017? I'm stumped. Uh, I don't even know what to ask for my last question. Was he a bench player the final season?
Yes.
Hmm.
That basically leaves probably two players because they typically don't have very many bench forwards, you know? If you can just remember those players. All right, who's your guess?
I feel like Nick Young played more recently, but I'm going to say Nick Young.
Didn't you already figure out that he retired after?
No,
Or was that Iguodala?
that was Iguodala.
That is incorrect. Because it is a little bit hard, I'll send you the stats.
For one final guess.
One final guess. This tells you every team he's ever played for, all the points he's ever averaged.
It says he played in 2017, 2018, and he averaged. Oh, you already told me that. He played for the. Oh, he played for the New Orleans Hornets and then the Pelicans. He played best for the Hornets and
It's, but he
Pelicans.
also started,
Oh, he played for the Pacers and the Spurs.
and he stopped starting games once he got to Golden State.
I feel like I know who this is, but I can't put a name on it.
I'll tell you right now, with how much 2K we played over the years, I probably scored with him against you. All right, who's your final guess?
I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm trying to think. That's so hard. I almost said, I don't know why, but I almost said Lance Stevenson because of Indiana, but he didn't even play for Golden State.
No, he did not. Alright. I'm just gonna say you lost, unfortunately, Nick.
I don't want to give up. I want to say, I've been wanting to say David West, but I don't even know because I feel like I've seen him in a Spurs uniform, and I
Scroll
know he's
down.
played for the Warriors. Oh, I didn't know he played for the Hornets or the
It is
Pacers.
David West.
That's such a hard player too.
Yeah, it was a little obscure. I was almost gonna do Iguodala though, so you would have had it almost by question 4. How'd you forget about David West, man?
I don't know even because he scored 6 points, 4 points, 7 points.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out that he actually was a decent player when he was young. I've always thought of him as a bench player, but I guess he was just at retirement age at that point. But yeah, New Orleans, I wasn't sure if it was in the West because it's in the East on a map, you know.
Yeah.
But I was pretty sure it was in the West because I knew that from past. Like it's a weird one, like Memphis. All right, well, that was fun. We'll have to do that again, maybe with coaches or teams.
Yeah, I'd be down.
All right, now we're gonna move on to the Olympics. So first of all, we found out that Ukrainian skeleton athlete Vladislav Hereskevich was disqualified from the Olympics over a banned helmet protest. The helmet displayed images of over 20 Ukrainian athletes and coaches who died during the war with Russia. Uh, I think he was trying to repeal this, but there was no update as of right now. I believe he might have been warned in the past about this, but I think he chose to do it anyways. Um, it's kind of sad, but I get it. The Olympics has a very clear stance on like political and war messaging during the events, especially when it comes to uniforms, because they're pretty strict about what like logos and stuff you can wear, kind of like the NBA and stuff is.
Yeah. I personally, I see their stance. It's kind of sad that he couldn't wear the helmet to support his uh, fellow teammates and coaches. But if it's a rule in the Olympics, it's a rule, and you got to follow the rules, or else you obviously can't compete.
Yeah, I mean, and the Olympics banned Russia, so it's not like they don't care about Ukraine, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was worth bringing up either way.
So, for the first time ever, the U.S. women beat Canada in the Winter Olympics after a thrilling finish to move to 2-1 in round robin play, and that's of course in women's curling.
And then they went on to win a medal, right? Or is it not done yet?
I don't believe curling is done yet for women's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
And to follow up on last week, the International Skating Union said it stands by the ice dance judging at the Olympics, where the scores from the French judges played a role in the French couple of Laurence Fournier Bondry and Guillermo Cizeron beating the American team of Madison Chalk and Evan Bates. There was
That
kind of
was the judge. That was the judge's name,
oh,
Du
that was
Bois.
oh, gotcha. There was a lot of evidence to show that they kind of rated the US way lower than all the other judges on average, whereas they also ranked the French people higher than average. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what I've heard, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates feel a lot better about the situation now. I think they feel like the majority of people like feel like they won even if they have silver. So I feel like they still feel like winners to some extent, and it's just not worth the hassle because even if they win the appeal and stuff, it's just gonna blemish their name and stuff. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is.
So, Lindsey Vaughn underwent her fourth surgery on Saturday, and she said it went well. On Sunday, she flew home to the United States and will have further surgeries in the coming weeks. And there's been no updates on when those surgeries are. But so hopefully she can continue to heal from these surgeries and hopefully not have too big of an impact on the rest of her life from that accident.
And Canada and the US will play in women's gold medal hockey match tomorrow, which is Thursday. So by the time this episode comes out, it will already be done, but we will announce the winner next week.
Canada's Marie-Philip Poland broke the women's Olympic hockey goal record, scoring her 20th goal versus Switzerland.
Women's singles figure skating finished their short program. I think it was yesterday. I watched it. It was really good. And the free skate and medals will be given out tomorrow, which is Thursday again. So we will have to update you on that also next week. However, the current standings I wanted to point out is Japan in first, Japan in second, the US, Alyssa Liu in third, Japan in fourth, and then the next closest US is in eighth, which is Isabella Levito. And Amber Glenn at one point completely missed one of her spins, so she got 0 points. She dropped all the way down to 13th, which was a shock for a lot of people. She was crying afterwards and everything. Um, yeah. It if Japan goes on to win all three medals, this would be the first time in women's figure skating that one country has swept all the medals. However, at least the top three are or four are pretty close, and really the free skate is where all the points really matter. So I really feel like even people in 10th or below slightly still have a decent chance at winning in the end. So I don't think there's no hope for the US, but I'll be honest, I think it's going to be an uphill battle to win gold. So we'll see how that ends up playing out.
We got some medal updates throughout the week, so this is day by day. This is from an order, like day by day order. So first up, we got the Alpine Skiing Women's Super G. Italy took gold with their competitor Frederica Brignon. France took silver. Their competitor was Romain Muradali, and bronze went to Austria to Cornelia Hutter.
And for cross country skiing, the women's 10K and individual, Sweden took gold as well as silver, and then the US took bronze. That was Frida Karlsson, Ebba Anderson, and Jessie Diggins for the US.
Freestyle skiing, men's moguls. Gold medal winner was Australia, Cooper Woods. Silver went to Canada's Michael Kingsbury, and Japan won bronze for Ikuma Hiroshima.
Horishima.
Horishima.
For the short track speed skating women's 500-meter final, we have the Netherlands' Zandra Velsboer getting gold, Italy's Ariana Fontana getting silver, and Canada's Courtney Sarrault getting bronze, as well as the men's 1,000-meter speed skating final. We have the Netherlands' Jens van te Wout taking gold, China's Sun Long taking silver, and South Korea's Rim Jong-un's taking bronze.
Next up was the women's 5,000 meter speed skate. Italy's Francisca Lollobrigida won gold. Netherlands' Mirelle Konigen took silver, and Norway's Rain Wiklund took bronze.
And for mixed team relay luge, we had Team Germany taking gold. That consisted of Julia Tabitz, Tobias Windel, Tobias Arlt, Max Langerhen, uh, Djana Eiteberger, and Magdalena Machina. And then Austria took silver. That was Lisa Schultz, Thomas Stu, Wolfgang Kendall, Jonas Müller, Selina Egel, and Laura Michaela Kipp. And then Italy took bronze. That was Verena Hofer, Emmanuel Ryder, Simon Keyneswaldner, Dominique Fischnaller, Andrea Voiter, and Marion Oberhofer.
Next up, we have the men's snowboard cross with Austria's Alessandro Hamere taking gold, Canada's Elliot Grondin taking silver, and Austria's Jacob Desick taking bronze. In the women's halfpipe snowboarding, South Korea's Choi Gaeon took gold, USA Chloe Kim took silver, and Japan Mitsuki Ono took bronze. And I wanted to point out that if Chloe Kim finished gold, she would have been the first snowboarder to ever win in 3 consecutive halfpipe contests.
And for men's 10-kilometer biathlon sprint, we have France taking gold. That was Quentin Fillon Millet. Norway took silver. That was Vidal Stadstad Christensen. And then Norway also took bronze. That was Sturla Holm Lageride.
For cross country skiing, the men's 10-kilometer individual,
Your favorite.
Norway's Johannes Hasvlat Klæbo took gold. He's always getting gold, and it's hard for me to pronounce his name, so maybe he should not qualify. France's Mathis Deslogs and Norway's he took silver, and Norway's Einar Heidegard took bronze.
And as always, we're pronouncing these names 100% accurate. Even the athletes don't know how to pronounce their names correctly.
Yeah, so if we get any hate, don't hate. For speed skating men's 10,000 meter, Medvedev Jilek of Czechia won gold. Poland's Vladimir Simaruni won silver, and the Netherlands' Jort Bergsma won bronze.
So for the men's solo figure skating short program, the standings, reminder from last week, was Ilya Malinin at first with 108 points, and then Japan's Kageyama in second with 103, followed by France, Italy, Kazakhstan, South Korea, blah, blah, blah. Point is, by the end of it, after the free skate, uh, Mikhail Shaderov ended up getting gold for Kazakhstan with a score of 291.58 points. Yuma Kageyama got silver with 280.06 points, and then Japan's Shun Sato got bronze with a score of 274.90 points. Now you may be wondering, Ilya was in first. Where did he finish? Oh, well, he finished in 8th place. You see, he lost potentially if he would have scored perfect on everything or about 72 points during his free skating routine. He like fell down multiple times. Actually, I saw multiple skaters falling, so I feel like the ice might have been bad, which we have heard from speed skaters.
I heard that the ice was softer than it should have been.
But I will say, Iliad never made that an excuse. I like that about him. He- Um, he ended up talking with some people afterwards, like Simone Biles, Steph Curry, I think LeBron. And although he was upset, he seems now to be pretty happy, I'd say, relatively. He said like this seems like something that needed to happen for him to improve, and get out nerves next time around. So that's good. It's nice to see him at such a young age have that awareness and maturity. But it also helps that he did get gold in the team event. So he didn't completely walk away from this event, with nothing. Uh, but he did say he's going to skate in the upcoming exhibition gala, and he said he's really excited to show off some cool stuff that he's got planned. So that's cool. I do think if he'll come back to the Olympics in the future, I think he'll bounce back and hopefully do well. But I want to point out that this is actually Kazakhstan's first gold medal in figure skating history. It's their second ever medal in figure skating as a whole. So that was pretty cool to see.
Moving on to the women's snowboard cross, Australia's Josie Bath took gold. Czechia's Eva Zikova won silver, and Italy's Michela, I don't even know, Michela Moioli took bronze. And then the men's halfpipe, Japan Yuto Tatsuka took gold. Australia's Scotty James took silver, and Japan's Ryusi Yamada took bronze.
In men's giant slalom alpine skiing, we have Brazil's Lucas Pinheiro Brothen taking gold, and then Switzerland's Marco Odermatt taking silver, and Switzerland's Loic Meillard taking bronze. I want to point out, though, this is a very, very big deal because when Brazil won this medal, they not only became the first ever South American country to win any medal at the Winter Olympics, but also the first to ever win gold, while also simultaneously winning Brazil's first ever medal. So, really historic moment. So that's really cool to see. And we were just talking last week as one of our fun facts that no South American team had ever won a medal. So that's pretty cool that it was broken just a week later.
The men's individual skeleton, Great Britain's Matt Weston took bronze. No. Great Britain's, I don't know why, but it's similar color, and I just said bronze. Great Britain's Matt Weston took gold. Germany's Axel Junk took silver, and Germany's Christopher Grothier took bronze.
And for women's 7.5 kilometer biathlon sprint, Norway's Maren Kikerdide took gold. France Ocean Michelon took silver, as well as France taking bronze. That was Lou Jean Monod.
Cross country skiing, women's 4 by 7.5 kilometer relay. And the team that got gold was Norway with competitors Kristen, Osgelen, Forsnays, Astrid, Ayer, Schlid, Caroline Simpson Larson, and Heidi Wang. Sweden's Lynn Svan, Ebba Andersson, Frida Karlsson, Jona Sundling took silver, and Finland's Johanna Matilatala, Kertu Niskanen, and Vilma Riti and Jasmine Jonasu took bronze.
And for women's dual moguls freestyle skiing, Australia took gold. That was Jakara Anthony. USA took silver. That was Jalen Kolf. And USA also took bronze. That was Elizabeth Limley. I've noticed a lot of Australia this episode.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to make a comeback. In the men's 1,500-meter short track speed skate, Netherlands' Jens van de Woot took gold. South Korea's Hwang Dae-hyun took silver, and Latvia's Robert Kreuzbergs took bronze.
And for women's individual skeleton, we have Austria's Janine Flock taking gold, Germany's Suzanne Kraher taking silver, and Germany's Jacqueline Pfeiffer taking bronze.
In the men's 500-meter speed skate, Jordan Stolz in the U.S. took gold with an Olympic record time, and the Netherlands' Jenning Debut finished silver. And Canada's Laurent Dubreuil took bronze. Jordan Stolz finished with a 33.77 time. The previous record was 34.41, set by Norway's Havard Lorentzen at the 2018 Olympics.
So actually, all three of the medal winners would have broke that record,
Yeah,
which kind of reiterates the fact that a lot of people are saying the ice is really fast this year, but at the same time, I've heard that they don't like the ice. So it seems like one of those things where it's like if you can master it and not fall, you're gonna like break a record. But it's really hard to do that, and it might just be like a personal person by person preference basis for figure skating and speed skating. And for women's giant slalom alpine skiing, Italy's Frederica Bergone took gold, Norway's Thea Louise Stjernson, as well as Sweden's Sarah Hector tied for silver.
or the biathlon men's 12.5 kilometer pursuit. Sweden's Martin Ponsiluoma took gold. Norway's Sturla Holm Legreid took silver, and France's Emily Jacqueline took bronze. Women's 10-kilometer pursuit was Italy's Lisa Vitozzi, Norway's Maren Kirkidi, and Finland's Suvi Minkinen took bronze.
And for men's dual moguls freestyle skiing, Canada's Michael Kingsbury took gold, Japan's Akuma Horishima took silver, and Australia's Matt Graham took bronze.
In the skeletons, the mixed team skeleton, Great Britain's Tabitha Stoker and Matt Weston took gold. Germany's Suzanne Kruer and Axel Junk took silver, and Germany's Jacqueline Pfeiffer and Christopher Rothier took bronze.
And for women's individual large hill ski jumping, Norway's Anna Odine Strom took gold, Norway's Maria Cavandel took silver, and Slovenia's Nika Prevk took bronze.
For the cross team mixed snowboarding, Hugh Nightingale and Charlotte Banks of Great Britain took gold. For Italy, it was Lorenzo Samariva and Michela Moioli, taking silver, and Frances Loan Bozzolo and Leah Costa took bronze.
And for women's 500-meter speed skating, the Netherlands took gold. That was Femke Koch, as well as the Netherlands took silver. That was Jutta Leerdam. And then Japan took bronze. That was Miho Takagi.
For the men's what?
It's your guy.
Oh my god, again! I forgot he was even here. How do I keep getting him? All right, so for the men's 4 by 7.5 kilometer relay, this is cross country skiing. Norway, the guy of the town and the talk of the podcast, Johannes Hasvlat Klebo, Emil Iverson, Martin Laustrom, Ninget, and Idar Hedegaard. His whole team is complicated to say. They took gold. France's Theo Shelley, Hugo Lapalus, Mathis Deslogs, and Victor Lovera took silver, and Italy's David Graz, Elia Elia Barp, Martino Carolo, and Federico Pellegrino took bronze. So with that gold for Norway, Johannes Hasvlat Klæbo won his ninth Olympic gold medal in cross country skiing, setting the Winter Games record
Is that 9 and 1 Olympics or total?
total.
How many does he have this Olympics? Probably like 4.
I think so.
Well, dang, if he's young, he could make the record go even higher.
How many total medals does Klæbo have? 10 gold. How many medals does Klæbo have this Olympics? He currently has 5 gold medals in this Olympics alone. So
Dang.
he's won half of his medals in just this Olympics.
And has he gotten anything but gold?
He has 2 non-golds, and he's only 29 years old.
And for men's slalom alpine skiing, we have Switzerland's Loic Meillard taking gold, Austria's Fabio Geistrin taking silver, and Norway's Henrik Kristoffersen taking bronze.
In figure skating pairs, Japan Riku Miura and Ruichi Kihara took gold. Is that Georgia?
Yep.
Georgia's not the state in the U.S., but the country. Anastasia Metelkini, Kita, Luca Berulava took silver, and Germany's Minerva Haas and Nikita Volodin took bronze.
And for freestyle skiing, women's big air, we got Canada's Megan Oldham taking gold, China's Eileen Gu taking silver, and Italy's Flora Tavanelli taking bronze.
For the women's 1,000 meter short track speed skating, the Netherlands' Zandra Belzebouwer took gold, Canada's Courtney Sarrault took silver, and South Korea's Kim Gilly took bronze.
For men's super team ski jumping, Austria's Jean Horrell and Stefan Ambracher took gold, Poland's Paweł Wesik and Kapker Tomasic took silver, and Norway's Johan Andersen Forfang and Christopher Eriksson Sundal took bronze.
Now we are on to the men's. That is not men. We're on to the women's monobob bobsleigh, which I didn't know this, but the monobob is only a female sport in the Olympics. So uh, the U.S. took gold. The athlete was Elena Myers Taylor, which was her first gold medal after 5 Olympic appearances. So congratulations to her. Germany's Laura Nolte took silver, and the U.S.'s Kaylee Armbruster Humphreys took silver, bronze.
I wonder why they don't have monobob for men.
Why is monobob, female only. Uh, to increase gender equality, offering female bobsledders a second medal opportunity alongside the two woman event to match the two events available to men, two man and four man.
Well, why don't they do two men and two women and then do monobob for both and make it six? Or no, three total.
It serves to reduce costs and highlight individual driving skill.
Yeah, so it's the money thing.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, we want equality, so we're gonna take sports that are male only and leave it there, and then make a new sport that costs less money and make it female only. Okay, that's weird.
yeah.
And for men's 4 by 7.5 kilometer biathlon relay, we have France's Eric Perrot, Fabien Claude, Emilien Jacquelin, and Quentin Flammele taking gold. Norway's Martin Odell, Johan Olav Botten, Sturla Holm Lageride, Vettel Stadsten Christensen taking silver, and then Sweden taking bronze. That was Victor Brand, Jesper Nielen, Martin Ponsiloma, and Sebastian Samuelson.
For the men's two man bobsled, it was a Germany sweep. Uh, the gold team was Johannes Lochner, George Fleischhauer. Silver was Francesco Fried, Friedrich,
Friedrich.
Friedrich and Alexander Schuler. The silver team, and I think I already said that, but the bronze team was Adam Amor and Alexander Schaller. Geez, they have two guys with almost identical names.
And then for freestyle skiing men's big air, we got Norway's Tormod Frostad taking gold, USA's Mac Forehand taking silver, and Austria's Medej Savancer taking bronze. Mac Forehand for the US became the second American to ever medal in free ski big air. So congrats to him.
The Nordic combined men Gunderson Large Hill. Norway took gold. Jens Lores Ofterborough. Austria's Johannes Lamparder took silver, and Finland's Ika Hirolo took bronze.
And for men's team pursuit speed skating, Italy took gold. That was David Giotto, Andrea Giovanni, and Michele Malfatti. Then USA took silver. That was Casey Dawson, Ethan Kapurin, and Emery Lehman. And then China took bronze with Liu Hanbin, Li Wenhao, and Wu Yu. And then for the women's team pursuit final, Canada took gold. That was Ivani Blondin, Isabel Weiderman, and Valerie Maltes. The Netherlands took silver. That was Joy Bueno, Merjik Groenwood, and Antoinette Rijma de Jean. And then Japan took bronze. That was Miho Takagi, Hana Noeke, and Ayano Sato.
The biathlon women's 4 by 6 kilometer relay, France took gold. Camille Benet, Lujan Monot, Oshan Michelin, and Julia Simon. I don't know why I went into an accent there or tried to. Sweden took silver. Lynn Gesblom, Anna Magnuson, Elvira Oberg, and Hannah Oberg. Norway took bronze with Marthe, Krakstad Janssen, Juni Arne Cleve, Caroline Office Gad Naughton, and Maureen Kirkhead.
And for women's aerials freestyle skiing, we have China taking gold. That was Zhu Mingtao. Australia took silver. That was Daniel Scott. And then China took bronze. That was Xiao Qi.
For the women's alpine skiing slalom, U.S. took gold with Michaela Schifrin. It was her first gold since her first gold medal in women's slalom since 2014, and she became the second skier to ever win gold twice in the event. Switzerland's Camille Rast took silver, and Sweden's Anna Svend Larsen took bronze.
And for women's team sprint cross country skiing, we got Sweden taking gold. That was Jonah Sundling and Maha Dahlqvist. Switzerland took silver. That was Nadja Kalin and Nadine Fendrick. And then Germany took bronze. That was Laura Gimler and Coletta Reidzek. And then for the men's team sprint final, Norway took gold. That was Einar Hedgegard and Johannes Hosflot Klæbo.
He's back.
He's back. And USA took silver. That was Ben Ogden and Gus Shoemaker. And then Italy took bronze. That was Elia Barp and Fredrika Bignon. So Norway's Johannes Hoslov Klæbo joins Michael Phelps as the second Olympian to win 10 gold medals. Dang. And he might not even be done yet. He might come back for more.
I don't even know if this is his last event. He could have another event this year
True.
yet. For the men's snowboarding slopestyle, China's Zhu Yiming took gold. Japan's Tayaga Hasegawa took silver, and U.S.'s Jake Cantor took bronze. And I wanted to point out that Jake Cantor, 10 years ago, he was in a near death trampoline accident that led to a coma. And I also want to point out about this is that none of the top three qualifiers won a medal in the men's snowboarding slopestyle. And then the women's slopestyle, Japan's Marie Fukada took gold. New Zealand's Zoe Sadowski Sanat took silver, and Japan's Kokomo Marasi took bronze.
And for the short track speed skating women's 3,000-meter relay final, we have South Korea taking gold. That was Choi Ming-jong, Kim Gilly, and uh, Shim Suki and No Dohi. Italy took silver. That was Eliza Comfortola, Ariana Fontana, Chiara Betty, and Ariana Sigel. And then Canada took bronze. That team consisted of Danae Blaze, Cam Boutin, Florence Brunel, and Courtney Surratt. And then for the men's 500-meter short track speed skating final, Canada took gold. That was Stephen Dubois. The Netherlands took silver. That was Mella van te Waalt. And then the Netherlands took bronze, and that was Jens van te Waalt. No clue if they're related. Probably are. Alright, now we got an updated medal count. So, Norway has 33 total medals with 15 gold, 8 silver, 10 bronze. Italy has 26 total with 9 gold, 5 silver, 12 bronze. The US has 24 total with 7 gold, 11 silver, and 6 bronze. Japan has 22 total, Germany has 21 total. France is tied with Austria with 17 total. The Netherlands and Sweden are tied with 15. Canada has 14, Switzerland has 12, China has 9, South Korea has 7, Australia has 6, and so on. But I guess the main update would be that the US are kind of slowly working their way up the list a bit. Norway is still dominating, but I would say their like gold medal rate is a little less than it was last week. And Japan or Italy and Japan about the same. After hockey and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if the US ends up passing Italy though.
Actually, I did see earlier in hockey that Canada actually lost.
Oh.
No, they didn't. I lied. They almost lost. When I last looked, they were losing, and then they got a goal and they went to overtime and won. So, and that was against Czechia. So they almost lost. And they lost their uh, key player, Sidney Crosby. So,
And now we're going to move on to our brand new segment, Ball in Order, where we are going to talk about sports related crimes. Well, I guess we should say athletes who commit crimes or are involved with crimes. Sometimes they're the victim.
so this was last week, but 49ers defensive lineman Keon White was shot in the ankle early Monday morning, which was last Monday morning,
The ninth.
and the 9th of February in downtown San Francisco, and he went into surgery later that day. And then there was an update that from the San Francisco Standard that reported an altercation involved with Keon White and Lil Baby, the Grammy Award winning rapper, whose real name is Dominique Jones, when the rapper and his entourage tried to enter White's private event. The reporter, Lamb, noted a witness went upstairs to get assistance from management to de escalate the situation and heard two gunshots. When they returned downstairs, White had been shot in the left leg. There is no confirmation as of now who actually fired the shots.
Definitely a fascinating scenario, though, that we have an NFL player and a rapper involved. I mean, I guess it's not that surprising because they would be probably in the same sort of party areas and stuff, but still. Hopefully we get an update on that later, like who actually fired it. And then we have an update on Darren Lee. So we mentioned last week uh, about Darren Lee being what?
He
Convicted?
allegedly killed his girlfriend
Was
or
he
ex girlfriend.
convicted or
Yeah, and then he was going through court and stuff.
okay. So he will be held without bond, and the prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. And then some details emerged from the alleged murder. Lee's girlfriend, identified as Gabriela Carvalho Porputio, had a stab wound, a broken neck, a bite mark and bruise, uh, and the cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. Lee is charged with first-degree murder.
Yeah, that's insane. Uh, Moving on to another former Ohio State player, Cleveland Brown safety Ronnie Hickman was assaulted in the lobby of a New York City hotel earlier this week on Monday morning. The police reported upon arrival, the officers were informed that four unidentified individuals punched a 24-year-old male, Ronnie Hickman, following a verbal dispute. The suspects fled the location in an unknown direction, and there have been no arrests, and an ongoing investigation is happening, according to a statement from the police department in New York. Hickman just completed his third season in the NFL, and he started all 17 games for the Browns, recording career highs in tackles with 103 tackles, pass deflections with 7, and interceptions with 2. And he is an impending restricted free agent this offseason.
And BYU's wide receiver Parker Kingston has been charged with first-degree felony rape. BYU released that he is no longer a student at the school, and the charge comes after nearly a year-long investigation that began when a 20-year-old woman reported the assault to officers at St. George Regional Hospital. The woman told officers that Kingston sexually assaulted her on February 23rd, 2025. He was granted a $100,000 bail, and Kingston was BYU's leading receiver in 2025. This is also the second high-profile allegation of rape against a BYU football player in the past year. In May, former quarterback Jay Retzloff was accused of this also in a civil lawsuit before the parties jointly agreed in June to dismiss the case with prejudice, meaning it could not be refiled. No criminal charges were filed against Retzloff. However, he would have faced a lengthy suspension for violating BYU's honor code, which prohibits premarital sex, and as a result, he transferred to Tulane.
So we have an update on Stefon Diggs. He pleaded not guilty Friday to felony strangulation and other criminal charges stemming from an alleged dispute with his personal chef. At the arrangement, Diggs was scheduled to next appear for a pretrial hearing on April 1st.
An ex-girlfriend of Kansas City Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice has filed a civil lawsuit in Texas alleging he reportedly assaulted her during an 18-month span from 2023 to 2025. DeConda Jones, who said she was pregnant during many of the alleged assaults, is seeking more than $1 million. Jones alleged that Rice strangled her in December of 2023 and exhibited a history of abusive behavior through a relationship in both Texas and Missouri until July of 2025. She said in a lawsuit, Rice had grabbed, choked, strangled, pushed, thrown, scratched, hit, and headbutted her, as well as hit her with inanimate objects. The lawsuit, filed Monday, also says that Rice punched walls, destroyed property, and broke furniture while also locking her out of their apartment at night. Jones claims physical pain and mental anguish, physical impairment, disfigurement, previous and future medical care, and loss of earnings as part of the damages in the suit. The NFL said it would investigate the woman's claims after she posted the initial allegations. The league said Wednesday that the matter remains under review.
That's quite a situation.
Yeah.
We'll be moving on to college football. Something I want to talk about is Montana's Solomon Tuliaupupu. I don't even know. That's so weird. Was granted another year by the NCAA. He began his career at USC in 2018, so this is his ninth year of eligibility.
Jeez.
He's been playing longer than I have been since my freshman year of high school.
That, yeah, I don't know where you were gonna go with that. And Detroit's 29-year run as a bowl game host city has ended, as Ford Field will not have a postseason game in the 2026 season. In a statement posted on social media, Ford Field noted that the end of its naming rights partnership with the bowl created the right time to adjust their focus to invest in sports at all levels and other entertainment events. Detroit hosted the Game Above Sports Bowl the past 2 years, with Northwestern and Central Michigan meeting in December and Northwestern winning 34-7. The city first hosted the Motor City Bowl in 1997 at the Pontiac Silverdome. The game moved to Ford Field in 2002 and was later named the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl and the Quick Lane Bowl, before becoming the Game Above Sports Bowl in 2024. Detroit's bowl game typically featured teams from the Mid-American and Big Ten conferences, although ACC teams had also appeared in games 7 times between 2013 and 2024.
So I want to talk a little bit about the combine. Uh, these teams had the most invites out of other college schools. So Texas A&M got the most invites with 13. Alabama had 12 invites. LSU and Ohio State both had 11 invites. Georgia, Miami, and Oklahoma all had 10 invites.
Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss has been granted a sixth season of eligibility by a state court judge in Mississippi. Chambliss received an injunction Friday, which will allow him to play in the 2026 season. The NCAA has the opportunity to appeal. Now, we've talked about this a couple times now, and I thought last we heard it sounded like he wasn't going to get extra year, right?
Yeah, the NCAA didn't approve it, and then the judges at first didn't approve it, and then the state court did grant him the 6 year of eligibility.
Wow.
So he's really fighting for the eligibility.
I'm really curious if the NCAA will try to appeal.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated if they do. The NCAA denied former Michigan staffer Connor Stalions' appeal of 8 year show cause penalty in sign stealing case.
So he was trying to come back.
Yeah, he was trying to get that ban taken off.
Someone must have said, "Hey, you want to work for us?
Yeah,
We
he
heard
would have.
you're pretty good, but not very sneaky." And in other news, the MAC has voted to formally add FCS Sacramento State into the league as a football-only member starting in 2026. The cost of interest is expected to be $18 million, and a deal is expected to be announced in the upcoming days. This will be the first West Coast program to make this jump to FBS in football in well over a generation. The total cost of entry is $23 million, as Sacramento State would also need to pay an additional $5 million to the NCAA to move up. That's pretty cool.
That's the second team to move up in the past 2 weeks.
I don't think I love the idea of MAC teams having to go all the way across the country. I mean, they do sometimes, but for a league game. but I guess it's kind of following suit of the Big Ten.
Northern Iowa football player Parker Sutherland died 2 days after collapsing during an off-season workout. Northern Iowa's coach Todd Stepsis said, "We were working out in the morning. We got right through our warm up and in a routine, normal Thursday, and he collapsed." Sutherland appeared in 4 games as a freshman last fall, and he earned second team All State honors his senior year at Iowa City High School. So, condolences to his family.
Yeah, almost reminds me of the Bronny James situation that what was that like 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, as healthy as some of these young people are, things can just happen.
very unfortunate and sad news.
And for some coaching news, we got USC promoting analyst Skylar Jones. He's expected to join defensive ends coach Sean Nua, coaching the Trojan defensive line. Jones has been at USC for 2 years and coached in 2023 at Oregon as an analyst. Previously, he coached the defensive line as an assistant at the Rams.
Syracuse athletic director John Wildhack announced he is retiring and will remain at the school through July 1st.
Texas Tech is hiring Jaquise Smith to be the new offensive linebacker coach. What?
Outside linebacker coach.
The new outside linebacker coach. He last coached outside linebackers with the Atlanta Falcons and brings significant recruiting experience in college from his time at Texas as an assistant edge coach.
Michigan has parted ways with their football general manager Sean Maggie.
And Deland McCullough is expected to become the next running back coach at Oklahoma. He was with the Raiders last season, where he coached Ashton Jeanty. He won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs and coached in college at Notre Dame, USC, and Indiana. He was last in college at Notre Dame, where he served as the associate head coach in 2024. He also coached Jeremiah Love at the school, so this could actually be a big pickup for Oklahoma.
Moving on to some NFL news. Today, as of Wednesday, there was a release of the Seattle team going up for sale. So the estate of Paul G. Allen announced it has commenced a formal sale process for the Seattle Seahawks NFL franchise, consistent of consistent with Allen's directive to eventually sell his sports holdings and direct all estate proceeds to philanthropy. The estate has selected investment bank Allen and Company and law firm Latham and Watkins to lead the sale process, which is estimated to continue through the 2026 offseason. NFL owners must then ratify a final purchase agreement, and this is expected to set a new record for the price of a sports franchise.
So, this is something we talked about for the last week or so as a possibility. From what I heard, they were kind of forced into doing this because of some, I don't know, rules or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. But essentially, this probably like had to happen. I know that they're saying it's in line with Allen's plans and stuff, but I think there's more to it than that. Either way, I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing, but it could be.
Honestly, it happened at the best time after winning a Super Bowl, puts the team at probably the highest possible price it could be. So,
Yes and no. Also, though, you have to wonder if they'd go back-to-back Super Bowl champs if they don't sell the team, you know?
yeah.
So I don't know. Time will tell. I heard that some fans want to put together all their money and buy it. Good luck with that. But one thing is very clear, the fans want the team to stay in Seattle. I don't see why they would move out of Seattle, but when it comes to new owners, you just never know. NBC announced that Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show averaged about 128.2 million viewers from 8:15 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That would make it the fourth most watched halftime show in Super Bowl history, behind Kendrick Lamar, which was 133.5 million in 2025, Michael Jackson's 133.4 million in 1993, Usher's 129.3 million in 2024. The audience for Sunday's game peaked at 137.8 million viewers, though, during the second quarter, which is a record. So that surpasses the previous mark of 137.7 million during the second quarter of last year's Super Bowl. So we're talking about how numbers in all sports seem to be going up. It seemed like it was true for the Super Bowl too, even though a lot of people were complaining how boring it was. There were still a lot of people watching. So that's cool. Um, when I see numbers like this, it's always like hard to kind of talk about it because some of the viewers could be multiple people watching on one TV, you know?
Yeah, can't really have an accurate number.
You can't. But needless to say, I would say this Super Bowl halftime show was a large success, contrary to what many people thought. So I will say this could mean that we will see a lot more diverse Super Bowls in the future. Maybe we will start to see, I don't know, some rock, maybe some opera. Who knows? Country? Sky's the limit. But I would say it probably will come down to what's popular in the moment. So I would say we should probably still expect to see a lot of pop and stuff.
The Seahawks had their Super Bowl celebration uh, on last Wednesday, um, but the Seahawks public or the Seattle Public Schools District announced that it would remain open and would not allow um, students and teachers to go to the parade, and it would still affect their attendance, and it wasn't an excused absence. I did see a lot of teachers and students did miss school that day and went to
Yeah.
the parade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Like it is like a really cool citywide event, but at the same time, like kids gotta go to school. And I don't feel like sports unless I mean, if it's like the World Cup, I could kind of understand because that's like an entire country. But I think the Super Bowl, I don't know if that's a good enough excuse for kids not to go to school. But I would say on the flip side, it might affect traffic and getting to school. So maybe it would be worth doing, you know?
Yeah, I remember when the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, they were saying that we were going to cancel school the next day, and then they never did.
Well, the Bengals also didn't win.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll never know.
So there's a chance for history to repeat itself. I saw a graphic last week that in 2005 the Eagles lost to the Patriots 24 to 21, and then they won the Super Bowl in 2025 40 to 22 against the Chiefs. So 20 years apart. In 2006, the Seahawks lost the Super Bowl to the Steelers 21 to 10, and then they won, you guessed it, 20 years later in 2026 against the Patriots 29 to 13, I think. 15, I don't remember. I think it's 13. Um anyways, then the Bears, they lost in 2007 and they lost to the Colts 29 to 17. Well, you guessed it. Next year is 20 years from that Super Bowl. So will the Bears make it to the Super Bowl next year? Time will tell. But every time we share something on here that is a conspiracy, it happens with the
Almost every
Pope.
time it seems like.
Almost every time. We
The
can't count the
Panthers one
Panthers.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had to play against the Seahawks eventually anyways. Though I will say one concern I have with this stat is 2004 is conveniently missing. So it's like, let's just say 25 and 26 isn't just the coincidence and then it stops there, you know?
Who lost the 2004 Super Bowl? The Panthers.
And
Oh.
they were definitely not in the 2024 Super Bowl.
Who lost the 2008 Super Bowl? The Patriots. Oh, but that's a
Oh, that
AFC
I could
team.
see. Oh, is it? This only applies to NFC.
Oh, I have no idea, but I just assume because they're all NFC teams.
I
But
mean,
we're
okay.
not.
Here's the thing, though. The Bears did make the playoffs this year, so that is somewhat of a good sign that this could happen again. I personally don't think it will, but you never know. Maybe the other teams could be really injured or the Bears just go off. Who knows? Kenneth Walker is the first Michigan State player to win a Super Bowl MVP. Honestly, that doesn't surprise me too much. Um, but what does surprise me is Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet have combined for 0 lost fumbles out of 1,333 career Seahawks rushing attempts. It's pretty crazy.
Really puts into perspective how elite our running back core is.
Well, and like Kenneth isn't even like what I would consider a power back, so you would think he would be more likely to fumble. But nope.
Well, they have fumbled, but they haven't lost a fumble.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
So they regained possession if they fumbled. So not as impressive as if they never fumbled, but it's still pretty impressive that they never lost a fumble. So Sam Darnold is the only quarterback in NFL history to lead different receivers to 1,500 plus yard seasons in consecutive years.
And the NFL informed all 32 teams in a memo that it prevailed in its grievance versus the NFLPA and its team report cards. An arbiter determined that the NFLPA's conduct violated the CBA and ordered it to stop making public any future report cards. If you don't know, I think this is where people rank like teams' locker rooms and stuff. You've probably seen it. Like I think I think it was the Bengals or the Browns have like an F grade locker room or something.
hmm The Kansas City Chiefs restructured Patrick Mahomes' contract this week, lowering his salary cap number from 78.2 million to 34.65 million for the upcoming season and creating a 43.56 million in cap space.
I feel like the injury might play partially into this, but it does seem that maybe Patrick wanted to take the salary cut a bit to get some better teammates.
Yeah, that's a
I,
good
re-
possibility.
I really wonder why we don't see this more. Like, why is there not some athlete that just doesn't care about money or maybe has really good investments to where they can take the salary cut and then just, get good teammates? Like, could you imagine if, like, especially in the NBA or something, like the big star players just took huge salary cuts and then they got a ton of other stars on their team?
Yeah, that'd be huge if they were not going for the money, they were going for the rings.
I mean, there probably is some sort of rule against it, but I'm sure you can somewhat work around it. But either way, it's like, I don't know, it's just crazy to me that we haven't seen that really. And I mean, I get that the majority of people don't want to take a salary cut. I don't exactly blame them, but still. Derek Carr mentioned coming out of retirement next season, but under two conditions. Number one, he has to be healthy, and number two, he has to be playing for a Super Bowl contending team. He still has 2 years remaining on his contract for the Saints, so if a team wanted him, they would have to make a trade.
The Seattle Seahawks are unlikely to use their franchise tag on Kenneth Walker. This is actually a surprise because of him being a Super Bowl MVP, but the projected cost of the franchise tag for the running backs would be $14.5 million, while the transition tag would come at a cost of $11.7 million. And with the Super Bowl tax cost for the Seahawks, that really makes the franchise tag this offseason unlikely. Um, the Seahawks have only used the franchise tag twice in 16 seasons under the general manager John Schneider, and the Seahawks have multiple free agents that they want to retain and sign, and the team would also try to extend the contract of Jackson Smith-Njigba as well.
Is there any downside to using a franchise tag? Like why do we use it so little?
Um, it costs more, so that's part of the reason why. I think it
But the
just
benefit is it like stops them from becoming free agents?
so the franchise tag allows teams to retain star and pending free agents for one additional year
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
on a high salary contract, preventing them from entering the open market. So basically, he has a chance to sign with another team. Whereas if they put a franchise tag
So
on him, he can't.
part of the reason we probably have so much salary space is because we haven't been using franchise tags. But you have to wonder at what point are we going to stop saving and start spending?
All right, so I did some research the other day because I was kind of interested. in seeing how often this happens. So these are the teams to win the Super Bowl and start the season 0-1. The first one is not a loss, but they tied. So the Super Bowl II winner Packers tied the Lions 17-17. And I wanted to point out a fun fact about this time. I didn't know there was 6 preseason games back in this time period. I guess they actually went 6-0 in the preseason. So in Super Bowl 11,
No, you
that's
could
not
end in a
11.
tie
That's
back then.
16. Well, yeah, you could end in a tie anytime as long as it
In the
wasn't a
Super
Super
Bowl?
Bowl. No, these are week one,
Oh,
starting 0-1,
gotcha.
but they tied week one. Anyways, Super Bowl 16, 49ers lost to the Lions 24-17 week 1. Super Bowl 21, the Giants lost to the Cowboys 31-28 in week 1. Super Bowl I hate Roman numerals. Super Bowl 28, the Cowboys lost to the Redskins 35-16 the first week. Super Bowl 36, the Patriots lost to the Bengals 23-17. Super Bowl 37, the Buccaneers lost to the Saints 26-20. Super Bowl 38, the Patriots lost to the Bills 31-0. And in Super Bowl 42, the Giants lost to the Cowboys 45-35. In Super Bowl 46, the Giants lost to the Dolphins 28-14. Super Bowl 49, the Patriots lost to the Dolphins 33-20. Super Bowl 50, I think Super Bowl 50 wasn't the Buccaneers. Oh,
That's 55.
55. My bad. I hate Roman numerals. Super Bowl 55, Buccaneers lost to the Saints 34-23. And in Super Bowl 38, the Chiefs lost to the Lions 21-20. And obviously this year, the Seahawks lost to the 49ers 17-13.
And all these losses were week one. Reminder.
Yeah, reminder because
Not
they
the
didn't say it.
results of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, we got some international game updates. So the 49ers are going to host a regular season game in Mexico City at Estadio Banorte. But I think we said that last week. However, their opponents have officially been announced.
No, that was they announced the 49ers would play in Australia last week. Mexico City
Oh,
hasn't
this is
met
a
it.
different game? They're
Yeah,
gonna
this
play.
just they're played 2 international games,
Oh, geez. The NFL will have a Wednesday game to open 2026 with the 49ers Rams in Australia, being played either on Wednesday or Thursday as part of opening weekend per John Arend. Whichever day the game would not take place, the Seahawks will have a home opener.
which is weird that the NFL will be played on Wednesday for the home opener or for the season opener. But the 49ers game would be on in the morning with it being in Australia. So kind of unfortunate for NFL fans.
Really, 49ers fans in general, that's
Yeah.
two games they can't go to pretty much.
And their home teams, they're the home team in Mexico City. So that does take away a home game, actually. Uh, we have some coaching updates. So the Seahawks hired Ravens defensive coordinator Zachary Orr as the inside linebacker coach. Uh, They also hired former Ravens defense director of football strategy and assistant QB coach Daniel Stern as well to a position that hasn't been decided yet. And the Seahawks are expected to hire the 49ers tight ends coach Brian Fleury as their offensive coordinator.
Which I will say the 49ers typically have pretty decent tight ends. So maybe a good pickup. I just don't know how well that translates to running an entire offense. Northern Illinois head coach Thomas Hamrick has accepted a job to become the next running back coach and senior offensive assistant for the Seattle Seahawks. He is expected to become the NFL's highest paid running back coach. With getting a new running back coach and potentially not re-signing Kenneth Walker, I really wonder what we're up to.
Yeah, I don't know. The Raiders are finalizing a deal to promote run game coordinator slash defensive line coach Rob Leonard to defensive coordinator. Leonard worked closely last season with Pro Bowl defensive end Max Crosby. The Raiders are also hiring Seahawks QB coach Andrew Janocko to be their offensive coordinator.
The LA Rams are set to hire Robert Wright as a defensive assistant. Wright is the former DC at Syracuse and Buffalo. In his first year at Syracuse, the Orange went 10-3 and defeated number 6 Miami.
The Browns are hiring Falcons defensive pass game coordinator Mike Rutenberg as their defensive coordinator.
And lastly, the Patriots linebackers coach Zach Kerr, who has who was the interim defensive coordinator last season, is having the interim title pulled and now become the full-time defensive coordinator. I will say their defense looked pretty good in the Super Bowl, so I kind of get why.
We'll be moving on to NBA news, and we'll be starting with injuries. So, Jazz star, recently traded, Jaren Jackson Jr., will have season ending surgery to remove a growth in his left knee.
Yeah, it's weird to call him a Jazz star when I don't think he's played maybe one game for them.
Yeah.
Wizards center Alex Sarr has sustained a right hamstring strain and will miss approximately 2 weeks.
Dallas Mavericks guard Kyrie Irving will be out the remainder of the season to ensure his ACL tear from last March fully heals.
And Kings guard Zach LaVine is undergoing season-ending surgery to repair a tendon injury in his hand.
Franz Wagner will be sidelined indefinitely after recent tests showed that he requires additional time and rehabilitation for soreness in his left high ankle sprain. The Magic will reevaluate him in 3 weeks.
And lastly, Sacramento Kings star Domantas Sabonis underwent season-ending surgery on Wednesday morning to repair the torn meniscus in his left knee.
Now we'll be moving on to some regular NBA news, although there's not much because the NBA didn't play hardly any games while we were gone. So the Spurs
All-Star
extended
break.
their yeah, because it went into the All Star break. So the Spurs extended their win streak to 6 games uh, right before the All Star break after a 16-point comeback against the Warriors, and they play the Suns on Thursday. So I guess we'll see if they extend that win streak to 7.
And Cade Cunningham purchased a minority ownership stake of his hometown MLB team, the Texas Rangers.
So NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said Saturday that tanking has been worse this year than we've ever seen in recent history, and is considering every possible remedy, including taking away draft picks to stop the type of overt behaviors. He actually fined the Jazz $500,000 for tanking, and the Indiana Pacers were fined $100,000. So Adam Silver reflected on the conundrum between the short-term incentives teams might have to lose games to improve their draft position and the long-term best interests of the leagues. He said, "It's the whole community coming together and deciding what's in the best interest. It's part of my job to remind everybody, I understand what your short-term interest may be, but we'd better not lose sight of our fans here. We'd better not lose sight of the people who support this league day in and day out." Adam Silver also provided an update on the NBA's plans for expansion, noting that he expected the Board of Governors to discuss the issue at its next meeting in March and then start reaching out to potential expansion cities and owners to gauge interest. He noted that the league was not considering a relocation of any of its current franchises. So a new team to come potentially.
And LeBron James becomes the oldest player in NBA history to drop a triple-double. He had 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists against the Bucks.
And Paul George officially announced that he will
No,
be what?
not Paul George.
Oh, what? Where did I get Paul George? What the heck? Uh, Chris Paul officially announced he'll be retiring after this season. He has played 21 seasons in the league, so it's sad to see him go, but
I
it's
swear he
about
already
his time.
announced this. I swear we covered this like one
He
of the
he
first ever
mentioned it
episodes.
before, but this is his official announcement that he's done.
Okay. Yeah, definitely sad to see him go. He definitely is deserving of a ring. Very good team player. But yeah.
Although the Clippers might say otherwise.
I don't know. I feel like most Clippers like him. I mean, they probably could have built the team around him better, and he had to go up against prime Warriors.
Well, I meant the current Clippers team.
Oh,
Might say different. So now I want to talk a little bit about All Star Weekend. So the celebrity game was Team Giannis and Team Anthony, and Team Giannis won 65-58. Rome Flynn won the celebrity game MVP, scoring 17 points with 4 assists. Keenan Allen led Team Anthony with 18 points, and Jeremy Lin scored an 8-point shot and scored 12 points with 15 rebounds. Taco Fall had 20 points, 21 rebounds, and 5 blocks.
how do you get 8 points?
There's a 3-point line, 4-point line, and an 8-point line.
Where's the 8 point at?
Uh, I think no more than 3 feet behind the 4-point line. It's like it's Ruffles, so they have like the Ruffles brand inside, in between the
I
4-point
gotcha.
line and the 8-point line.
So it's less than a half court shot.
Yeah, and while watching this, I didn't know they did like special events, like they did double scoring for one player or whatever, which is kind of cool.
I'm not surprised Taco Fall had 21 rebounds.
It's kind of surprising he didn't win MVP, but it also isn't surprising because he kind of had
They
an
probably wouldn't
unfair
let him.
advantage.
And for the Rising Stars game, game one, Team Mello beat Team Austin 40 to 34. Game two, Team Vince beat Team T-Mac 41 to 36. And then for the Rising Stars championship game, Team Vince beat Team Mello 25 to 24. VJ Edgecombe was named the Rising Stars MVP after scoring 17 points in the semifinals and another 6 points in the championship. How short are these games if they're only going to 25?
So these for the Rising Stars challenge, it was the first to score 40 points in game one and game two, and then it was the first to 25 points in the championship.
That's so low though.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do like this new format of like a round robin tournament.
Well, that one league, I think it's like Big Three or something.
Yeah.
Don't they play to a set score?
I think they played to 21 or something, almost like
I thought they
pickup.
played at like 80.
Oh, I haven't
I
played
don't think
either.
it's that. I don't think it's that low. But anyways, I feel like that's way too low. Like I've played street ball games that go to 21, and those don't take very long.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, they also had a bunch of events like the dunk contest and that night, so they're probably trying to get it out of the way.
yeah.
So, on the topic of the dunk contest, in the first round, Carter Bryant had a score of 45.6 and 49.2, which his score of 49.2 was the highest of the round. Jace Richardson of the Magic scored 45.4 and 43.4. Kashad Johnson, score of the Heat, had a 47.4 and a 45.4. And Jackson Hayes of the Lakers had a 44.6 and a 47.2. And the two members to move on were Kashad Johnson and Carter Bryant. Kashad Johnson had a score of 49.6 and 47.8, and he actually won the dunk contest. And Carter Bryant of the Spurs had a perfect 50, and that was the high score of the whole dunk contest. And his final score was 43.
And I want to point out that the couple clips I saw had me really believing that Matt McClung would have easily won because this looked like a really bad dunk contest.
Yeah, they're saying it was one of the worst all time.
For the Shooting Stars challenge in the first round, Team All-Star scored 16, Team Cameron 24, Team Harper 18, and Team Nix 31, which was the high score of that round. In the final round, Team Cameron got 38 and Team Nix won with 47. That team included Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Allen Houston, and Rick Brunson.
All right, and then in the 3-point contest, the results after round one in order: Bobby Portis with 15, Tyrese Maxey with 17, Jamal Murray with 18, Norman Powell with 23, Donovan Mitchell with 24, Damian Lillard with 27, Con Canoopel with 27, and Devin Booker with 30, which was the high scorer of the round. Uh, Concanoople, Damian Lillard, and Devin Booker all moved on to the championship round, where Concanoople got 17, Devin Booker got 27, and Damian Lillard got 29. And Damian Lillard joins Craig Hodges and Larry Bird as the only players to win three three-point contests.
Well, I did hear Steph wants to compete next year.
Yeah, I did see that.
I don't know why Steph is so off and on with the 3-point contest. And the All-Star game, Game 1, U.S. Stars beat Team World 37-35. Game 2, U.S. Stripes beat USA Stars 42-40. And then in Game 3, U.S. Stripes beat Team World 48-45. Kawhi scored 31 points in 12 minutes to eliminate Team World from the championship game. It's kind of crazy. He scored 31 of their 48.
Yeah, and even though Stripes beat Stars and Stars beat World, if Stripes would have lost to World, uh, the World had to win by three to move on to the championship game.
Yeah, speaking of the championship game, the U.S. Stars beat the USA Stripes 47-21. Anthony Edwards won the Kobe Bryant Trophy as the All-Star MVP. He also is now he's the second Timberwolves player to ever win the All-Star Game MVP, Kevin Garnett being the only other one. And he racked up over 30 points over the course of the 3 games. Wemby had 33 points on 10 of 13 shooting and 4 for 5 from 3 in Team World's second game.
Two games.
No, in Team World's 2 games combined. Some players said that it felt like playing pickup basketball and enjoyed it. Teams were separated by age group, with the younger players being placed on USA Stars and the older players being placed on USA Stripes.
So now we're going to talk about releases and signings. These are free agents, obviously, because the trade deadline passed. So, free agent forward Jeremy Sochin plans to sign with the New York Knicks after he clears his waivers with the Spurs.
Free agent Malik Beasley has signed a deal to play in Puerto Rico for Bad Bunny's team, Santurce Crabbers. The team's season begins in March. Beasley has been under NBA and FBI investigation for gambling allegations, which might be partially why he's leaving well, it's still the US, but he's leaving the immediate US.
Free agent forward Hayward Highsmith has agreed to a multi year deal with the Phoenix Suns.
The Philadelphia 76ers intend to sign forward Jabari Walker to a new 2-year contract and veteran guard campaign for the rest of the season.
Free agent center Mason Plumlee is signing a 10-day contract with the San Antonio Spurs.
And the Denver Nuggets are converting two-way Spencer Jones to a standard NBA contract for the remainder of the season. And for the NBA standings, we have the Pistons in first, followed by the Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, and Raptors. That's 1 through 5. Pistons have 40 wins, 13 losses. Celtics have 35 and 19. For the West, we have the Thunder in first, then the Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, and Lakers in fifth. The Thunder have 42 wins, 14 losses, and the Spurs have 38 and 16, though the Spurs are 4 and 1 against the Thunder, so. All right, now we're going to move on to the miscellaneous section.
So, Ohio State's pistol team went undefeated this season, including wins over Army and Navy.
Is that like the Olympic pistol shooting?
This is just regular collegiate pistol shooting.
But how does that work? Okay, so looking at pictures online, it looks like it's very similar to the Olympic pistol competition. Okay, next. Michael Jordan won the Daytona 500. Well, as a team owner. Driver Tyler Reddick pulled off the win despite not leading at all during the race until the crash in the final lap that would snap his 38 race losing streak. Bubba Wallace also set the record for most laps led in a single Daytona 500 with 40 laps before finishing 10th. Yeah, the entire ending was complete garbage. Chase Elliott was in first, and then someone got a big pass on him. I think it might have been Tyler Reddick actually. It's like whatever, okay. Chase might finish second, not a huge deal. Then they crash, and I don't even know where Chase finished, but like there was just 2 crashes in the final lap. It was just terrible. It's like just finish. Like if you're gonna fight for first, I get it, but after that, don't crash.
Kansas State has informed their basketball coach, Jerome Tang, that they are firing him for cause. Uh, per his contract, they owe him $18.6 million, and The basis for the cause firing is language in his contract that references any activity that brings public disrepute, embarrassment, ridicule to Kansas State. Kansas State is 10-5 on the year and 1-11 in the Big 12. Tang is 71-57 over his 4 seasons there. Tang plans to fight Kansas State for the cause of firing, and Tang told ESPN in a statement that I am deeply disappointed with the university's decision and strongly disagree with the characterization of my termination. I have always acted with integrity and faithfully fulfilled my responsibilities as head coach.
Now, I'll admit I don't know what he said, but I do find it kind of weird that he's 1-11 in the Big 12 this year, and then they suddenly fire him. It almost seems like a excuse. Is there any reason why they maybe wouldn't fire him because of the record? Like maybe his contract he would retire like require more money? I don't know, it's just kind of odd to me. Anyways, Arizona lost its second straight game after losing to Texas Tech 78 to 75 in overtime. They were one of the favorites to win for a while, right?
Yeah, they dropped down. I think Michigan's number 1 now. Which we'll be talking more about college basketball when the Olympics are over, because March Madness will be coming shortly.
Isn't the ceremony, the ending ceremony this Sunday?
Yeah, it's this weekend. So only a few more events to discuss. Ohio State men's basketball team upset number 24 Wisconsin 86 to 69 Tuesday. This is Ohio State's first ranked win of the season, and Bruce Thornton had a stat line of 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. Bruce Thornton also moved to third on Ohio State men's basketball all-time leading scorer list.
And the last thing that we want to talk about is something we saw today. The U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Controls, or OFAC, announced on Thursday, February 12th, that the IMG Academy will be fined $1.72 million for accepting tuition fees for 2 students whose parents are linked to the Mexican drug cartels. If you don't know, IMG Academy is one of the most prestigious private high school football programs in the country. I believe big name players like some Ohio State players have played there. And they were also famously involved against playing against Bishop Sycamore, which was that fake school. So people are now saying, who would have thought IMG would have done something so crazy that they made Bishop Sycamore look normal?
Bishop Sycamore was the better team if they didn't cheat.
I A lot of people have pointed out that they expect other big name teams to probably uh are probably involved with like shady like funding, but maybe not necessarily cartel related. So this maybe could be the start of cracking down on that. I don't know. Either way, it's really crazy, and I never would have thought that. Well, that will do it for this episode. We will see you again next week, where we will be finishing the Olympics and then talking about some other stuff. Thank you for listening as always, and we will see you again soon. See ya.